Are you sharing your screen? Because
Not
I
yet.
can't see it.
Not yet. I'm going to share the screen now. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to share my screen now. You'll tell me if you can see it. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Then like I said, I'm recording this meeting, guys. I'm gonna make it available on our YouTube channel. If you want to find our YouTube channel, like I showed you how to search for it, just search for Skhokho Business on YouTube and then you'll find it there. I will also have other videos that I put here in future for training, so you can always go here and check some of the videos here. Each and every single part of the app will have a video associated with it for to help you understand how it works. All right. So the training today, I think are we covering everything in general? You specifically wanted to know the CRM training. Trifina, should I focus more on the CRM training today?
Yeah, because you mentioned you're gonna show us those OBKs, the objectives.
Oh, the objectives. Okay. Okay. I'll
The
start with
objectives, and then the sales
CRM.
are important.
Okay.
And then the project tool, project management tool, when you have a task, and
Okay.
how you move it to the next level and so forth. And when you are following up, remember that we have a lot of people we are following up with, how you update the notes under the objectives to say you called them, you're
Okay.
waiting, they said call me back in 1 week. And I don't know if there's a reminder or something like that
Okay.
after 1 week.
Okay. So I will start with the objectives first, and then I will go to CRM, and then if there's time, we will do the project management. If we don't get to the project management today, we can always schedule another one, okay? So let's start with the objectives. Now, what I would recommend is a little bit of reading so you understand what is objective key result, okay? So I created this OKR software model after it's a standard term in the industry for managing your company's objectives, okay? It's a process that is used by big companies like your Googles, your Intel, and it's sort of like replacing KPIs. If you understand, in your experience, I'm sure, Trifina, you've dealt with key performance indicators, and a lot of organizations still do that. But objectives, key results, is a sort of a better method of managing objectives of a company, of an organization. So we have done that, integrated that into Skhokho. I would recommend some reading before so that you understand what is objectives. If you go to the homepage of our website and you go to navigation there, you will see there is like explanations around some of the software. At the bottom there is OKR App. You can go and read this when you have time, in your own free time. It will give you a better understanding of what is OKRs so that you know what you're dealing with. And also, you can go into news, and under news you will see objective key results there. These are blogs that we write, okay? So it's blogs around objectives. So you can read this also, and it will help you understand what is objective key results for you so that you know what you're doing. All right. Then after that, you'll go to you log into Skhokho. You know how to log in. At the top there, you'll see the dashboard. You will log in there, and this is my personal account here with Siniki. You were there. On the left there, you will see OKR app. It's the new one, the one which has new next to it. You can also navigate here at the top there. You will see OKRs at the top. So you can either click there or you can click here. If you click here, it opens up another sub menu. There's a dashboard, the objectives list, and the tasks, OKR tasks. So OKR tasks, they look like normal tasks, but they are different. So where I would start is the objectives list. So click there, objectives list. You will see over here, with the first time you come here, there will be nothing there because you don't have any objectives. You'll just see the empty screen. At the top, there will be this a pink button that says documentation. So most of our pages have this button at the top. If you right click on this button, you can open in a new tab the documentation page. So you can read how to do the objective. So everything I'm explaining is documented in the documentation. So the first time you come here, click the documentation, open it, it shows you objectives. It explains to you what happens there. It even shows you how to create. You see, like it shows you with arrows and buttons and screenshots. So when you read this page, it shows you exactly how you can work with objectives, but I'm also going to show you the same thing, which is on the objectives. So basically what objectives are is like, instead of assigning someone a task, because a task is like a once-off thing, you can assign an objective. An objective is like a long-term goal or project that someone can work on over time, and they can have little mini tasks and little mini results that they keep reporting on the progress of the objective. You understand? So because you guys were asking a question of, what if you give me a task but I want to update and whatever, and I was trying to say that maybe the task is not the right tool, because you might want to use something like an objective. And I'll give you an example of an objective. We have an objective here for our company here that says we want to achieve 100 registered users on our platform. So 100 registered users is like a long-term goal, okay? Is what we want to achieve at the end of the day. So when you create this objective, for the first time, when you want to create an objective here, you will go to the top there and you'll create an objective. And then when you click create, it will bring you to this page where you must explain what is this objective. So I'll give you an example. Let's say we want to create an objective, like we want to acquire think about an objective as a KPI.
Let's say like we want to have 100 followers per week or per month, something like that.
Okay, on Twitter.
On our social media.
Okay, so I would even say that is more like a key result. Okay, let's do that. So let's say you want to have 1,000 followers on which one? You have to be very specific. Which social media? Twitter?
On each one, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, each one of them.
Okay.
You can do one just to Instagram for now. Okay. And then we'll separate them.
All right. So let's say you wanna say 1,000 followers on each of our social media accounts, right? Yeah, so you see, there's a limit here. You can't put too many words because we want you to be specific describing it. After you've done that, you're going to ask who's responsible for it. In your company, you will see all the names of the people in your organization. So because for me, it's me and Sinikiwe, so I'll assign this to myself. You have to always assign a responsible person. And then you're going to decide, is it a team objective or a personal objective? So something like this might be a team because maybe different people will work on different parts of the objective. So I leave it as team. And then there's a department here, so this one is definitely marketing because you're growing social media. Okay, and then you need to have a time period from what date to what date. You can't have an open-ended objective. So in this specific case, let's say you want to do it in 6 months, which is a reasonable time for an objective. So I'm going to start here and say, I'm going to start today, which is the 17th of November. And then I'm going to go for 6 months. December, January, February, March, I don't know, let's say until April 17th, which gives it about 6 months, and apply. So this gives it a time period, 17 November to 17 April 2022. And then over here, you're going to now describe that objective, okay? We want to grow our social media following to 1,000. This is each per social platform. Okay, so you're gonna say Twitter, 1,000 followers. Instagram, 1,000 followers. Here you need to explain in detail what this objective is about and all the things you need to do to achieve it so that you can start to develop your key results and your tasks. So let's say LinkedIn as well, 1,000 followers, right? And this is like a rich editor, so you can make bullet points, you can do all sorts of things, like a report, you can write it nicely so that it makes sense. And then explain in detail what are all the things we need to do, okay? What we need to do. And then I'm going to maybe highlight this as like a heading 2, for example. I don't know, use auto follower. Post every day. All the things you need to do, whatever. You're going to put that in there and have an idea so that whoever is reading this can understand what you're trying to achieve. Then when you finish, you create that objective. You click that button, it saves it. It says success, that's good. Then it takes you to the next page, which says create key result. This page is going to look like the last one, but it's a different page. Now we're talking about key results. Key results are now mini tasks that you're going to have to do to achieve that objective. Okay, so think of a mini task as something that you can measure. All right, so to get 1,000 followers on each of our social media account, maybe one of the key results can be, what do you need to do to achieve that objective? So the first thing can be post 2 posts per day, something like that. So you could say, create 2 social media posts every day. That can be one key result. Another one can be follow 100 people every day. Or it can be even better, get because if you calculate you need 1,000 in 6 months, you need to get 100 followers every week. So these are little goals that you must achieve to achieve that high level objective, you understand? So if this one is your first key result, you're going to give it a responsible person. It's a number. It's a weekly. You're going to say that this is a weekly measurement so that you can measure it weekly. So this is because you guys were asking about tasks which you are doing all the time. So this is where you bring in your weekly tasks. If it's a monthly task, you'll put it there. If it's a weekly goal, you'll put it there. Or it's a quarterly or it's an annual thing, something you must achieve. So this one has got periods now. So in this, I leave this as weekly because I've already said get 100 followers every week. It's a number. What the unit of measurement here is followers. All right. And then what is the current value now? How many followers do you have now every week? I don't know. Maybe I say 20. I don't know how many followers you're getting. How many followers are you getting every week now?
We've been trying to aim to get 50 followers per week, and currently we are sitting at around, on Instagram, on a property is around 2,500 or something like that.
A week. This is like a weekly.
No, per week we are aiming for 50 followers. So if every person gets 10 followers, there's 8 of us, there's 7 of us. Actually, let's say 100 per week. Because if you get, each person gets at least 10 to 15 followers per day, we can actually go over 100, which is possible because I've shown them how to do the engagements. As you are engaging, people start to follow back. As you are doing the superpowers, I've showed them the superpowers, where you autopilot and all of that. We've done those setups. I think it's only Mbali that still has to set up his, but the other guys are done with that.
So here you could say currently I'm getting only 10 a week and I want to end up with 100. Okay. So you have to start measuring specifically. This is I'm on 10. I want to be at 100 a week. And you have to be specific. This is Twitter only. So you can create a key result for each and every one of your accounts. So this one is for Twitter. You'll do another key result for Instagram, another one for LinkedIn, because you are measuring them separately. And then you're going to say, when are we starting? Again, we are starting on the 17th of November. We're going to go until April. We said April 17th. All right. 2022. And then enter the description. We need to get 100 followers every week on our Twitter account through engagement and using superpowers for Twitter. You see now how you move from just doing general tasks to having high level objectives, which now you can now measure on a weekly, monthly, or whatever. Now, when you finish doing that, you will see now, you will be taken to a page. This is a detailed page for objectives. Okay. If you go back to where we started, OKR app, remember we started here, objectives list. If you go back here, you will see now there's a new objective at the bottom there that says 1,000 followers on each of our social media account. This wasn't there before. We started there by creating that objective. And then now we are back to the objectives list. You can click on the action button and then you can see view detail. View detail, it takes you to the page where we were. This page shows you at the top, this is the objective that we're trying to achieve. These are the dates. We're going to start on November to this date. And then the responsible person is Bertha, whoever you assigned it for. And then everything you explained there. On Twitter, we want 1,000. On Instagram, we want 1,000. On LinkedIn, we want 1,000. And then we're going to do all of that. This is what you explained when you were explaining the objectives. And then the first key result is get 100 followers every week on Twitter. You can add another key result here that says get 100 followers every week on Instagram. Another one, get 100 followers every week on LinkedIn. But I'm not going to do that to save time. Now, it starts there, it ends there. Now, you want to know how to report this on a regular basis so you can see your progress. So, you're going to go to actions there and say update key result measure there. Then you take into this page where you can see now 17th November you have 10 followers, okay? So let's say you did a lot of work and then you updated from 10 to 20, so this number is improving. You can go to the top of this page, say update key result value, and say what is it now? Let's say it went from 10 to 12, okay? And said, oh, we had a good week. Whatever it was, update key result. So then it shows you now you were at 10, now you are at 12. You can track this over time. You can see there that you started with 10 followers every week. You currently have 12 followers every week. Your target is 100 followers every week. So every week you'll come here and update this value so that you can progress and see the progress. And this graph will update as you update it. So you can see what you are doing to achieve your key result until you reach your target of 100 followers every week. Do you understand now being able to track an objective and a key result over time and how useful that is? And this is a better tool to use than just having a single task, because this is now a high level objective which you are tracking on a weekly basis. And what you can do there is you can create a task. So now when you create a task here, is different. This task is specifically a task that's created to support this objective. So you can create a task that says, please remember to phone this client, or whatever it is, you can create it. Or you can attach a supporting document. So let's say you had, you followed people and you've got a report somewhere, you can attach it, and this document will be attached to this key result. And then if you want, you can even print out the report. So let's say on a weekly basis, when you have a weekly meeting, you can come here and print out your PDF report, and it will show this is, you can print this out and download, and you can show your manager, oh, this is our objective. We started there, we are ending there, and this you can print it out in PDF format, like a report, which you can hand out to people or see the progress of what you're doing on your key result. Right? So there's a lot of values, but the thing I want you to remember when it comes to objective key result, this OKR stands for objective key result. You start with the objective, and then you create the key result, and then you update the key result on a regular basis until you achieve your objective. So if you go back, if you click go back, it takes you back to the objective page. This is the objective, this is the key result. This one has got a little bit of progress because we moved from 10 to 12. You can have more key results. You can have up to 5 or 6 key results for one objective. So for this one objective of 1,000 followers, you can have many things that you are doing to achieve this high level objective. Does this make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't know if they have any questions they want to ask. I was just wondering how we would then record the objectives of, doing cold calling, when you follow up with different clients.
That one is sales. I'll take you to the CRM now.
Okay, that one is sales. Okay, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what about when we are measuring on a project, like we have this project where we've got different buildings in one project, but then they are divided amongst, the ladies. And so in terms of, they measured the BOQs, but now they have to price them with the prices that we were given by the client. So where would we put that? Under projects?
Yes, I'll take you through the project also. So think about objectives is the tool to use when you have targets in your organization. So if you have targets that you want to achieve, that is the tool for the objectives. If you want to do sales, we're going to go to the CRM. If you're doing projects, we'll go to the project, okay? So let's go to the CRM. So if you start at the dashboard, you will see, the last thing I wanted to show you is the OKR dashboard, okay? This one, you don't have to do anything, but over time, it will update, your objectives, how many you have, you will see them per month. Are you achieving them? Are they overdue? They will show here. It's just like a report. Okay, so if you go to CRM, The way to get to CRM, if you are on the dashboard, you can go to the top there, CRM, or you can go to the bottom here where it says Sales App. So if you open Sales App, there's a lot of things here. You see, there's a lot of things from the sales settings all the way to the notes, documents, meetings, all sorts of things that you're doing with your clients. So I'll start with the sales settings. This is important, especially if you want to do marketing emails to your people. You must start with the sales settings. So Sales App, sales settings. You come here. You're gonna put in your mail settings which you have on your Outlook, because you're gonna need an email account for your sales to send marketing emails. So the same way you set up your email, you must create an email for sales. It can be maybe sales@triumphantzoe.com or whatever. And then you're gonna come and put in that username, password, and the domain, the SMTP stuff like you do on Outlook. So that when you send marketing emails, the marketing emails are going to be sent from your sales settings. And if you don't do this, you won't be able to send marketing emails. So you need to start with this first, because when you send the emails, they will be coming from your account. Okay, that's why we do this. Then after that, you guys will remember the contacts. I've already shown you the contacts. The contacts is just to add contacts that you're going to use for marketing emails and stuff. But since the last time we spoke, if you come to the contact list here, right? If you open Sales App, there is also what we call the mailing list. Mailing lists, these are all your mailing lists of people that you want to send marketing emails to. And I've added a functionality here for being able to upload even a CSV file. Like, if you wanted to import from your other, MailChimp or whatever, and you had a CSV file, you could come here, create a list. So create a list and call it whatever you want. Let's say we call it imported list from MailChimp, whatever. And then you can do whatever. I'm going to delete this later. I'm just showing you. So you add a new contact group there. And then you'll see this is the one I just added now, imported list from MailChimp. You can go there and click add members to this list. You'll see there's no members there. You can choose upload CSV, right? You can choose a CSV file to upload. Choose a file. I think I have a CSV file here. Let me just show you quickly. A CSV file. Let me show this in a list. Skhokho, emailing lists. So I've got a CSV here. Let me use the 5X, that one. And then let's say I upload CSV. Then it will tell me that you have uploaded a CSV. You can contact first name. It will tell you like to map the fields of the CSV. So the contact first name, you can say that first name. The contact last name is the last name. The phone number, there's no phone number, not applicable. Email address is the email. All right. And then you've mapped the fields. You can submit data mapping and success. Okay, there were no contacts in there, so it didn't upload anything. But this is how you would upload a CSV from your contact list. And then when you go back to your, or you can add manually, you can add the contact manually inside of your contact list or whatever. So for some reason, I think that that list was empty, didn't upload anything.
Becca, at the moment, I noticed the guys have been adding the mailing list. They've got about 2,000 contacts there. So that one is a general mailing list. But what you're showing us here is the one where you're going to separate the different clients. Like,
Yes.
let's say you have developers, then you have retail, you have commercial, you have
Yes.
residential clients, or
Yes.
you have coaching clients, and you create different subsets. Is this what you're showing us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But
So
that will take some time for us to go through them. And can you upload it as an Excel, not a CSV file? If you
have an
and
Excel
then
file,
you go through it.
if you have an Excel file, when you save the file, you can save as, and save as, choose CSV option. It's easy. So if you have an Excel file, when you're saving the Excel file, there's a save as option. And when you say save as, you can choose from the drop down and export and save as CSV. You can do that from any Excel file.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that from any Excel file, and then it will output a CSV. But make sure that the Excel file has got headings like name, surname, email properly,
Yeah.
and a list, and no spaces from the top, so that the CSV gets imported properly.
And when you're importing it, what if you have, let's say, 6 columns, like you've got a website or you've got an address column, but when you were entering it here, I saw you had to select name, surname, number. So if you have more columns than what the columns allow for it to be imported, is it not gonna leave out some of
Oh,
the names on the list?
so here it is. It is updating. The thing I was uploading, it was just taking time. Here it is. It takes time to upload the contacts. It has uploaded them. Here they are. I wanted to show you. Upload CSV. I wanted to show you. Let me just go back to that 5x. All right. So I can show you something. So the fields, let me just say not applicable for all of them so you can see all the fields that are available. So I'm not going to upload again. So not applicable. So these are all the fields we have in our CRM. First name, last name, phone number, email, website address, job description, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. So these are all the fields we've got in our CRM. So if you've got another field that's not here, I think we have address somewhere, but these are the only ones you can map. So if you had something else that's not in here, well, we don't have that field. I don't know how you're gonna record that. Maybe you'll record it under a lead, because leads have got more.
Well, it's okay, because as long as it imports the name and the surname and the email and the number, I think those are the most
important things, actually. The job description, the email, the phone number, and the social media tools, so that you can be able to follow people up. Because this is remember, these are just contacts, and the only reason you would have contacts is maybe to send them emails, marketing emails, and then you need to know their names. And then leads are more detailed. I'll go into leads now, because leads are the ones where now you're actively following up on a lead, on a sales lead. Then there's more fields there.
And how many people can we send a mass email to? Like compared to MailChimp. MailChimp, you can send them you have an account, you can send them over 1,000 at a time. Let's say you are not categorizing the different clients and you just want to send one email to all your contacts. How would you be able to send to all the 2,000 at once?
So if you want to send all the 2,000 at once, you must create another mailing list and add all of them in that mailing list, right? But I'm going to limit this to I haven't built the limit yet, but I'm going to, because people are going to abuse the system. So that you can't send more than to more than 10,000 people at a time. Otherwise, you might as well use a mass mailing system. This is not meant to be a mass mailing system. It's meant to be a CRM. So there's going to have to be limits. But remember, you're using your own email account. When you added your settings, you are using your own SMTP, and they have limits. So your SMTP also has got limits. You can't send, there's a limit of how many emails you can sell. Just your own email account has got limits. So I'm going to try to remain within those limits, but still be as flexible as possible, because keeping in mind, this is a CRM, not a mass mailing platform. It has mass mailing capabilities, but within the limits of CRM functionality.
Okay, no, makes sense. And then the email templates, we have to create it.
Yeah, so the email template. So now let's say you've done this, right? Now I've got these people that I've imported from my CSV, right? Now I'm not going to import them again. I'm going to go back to the mailing list. Mailing list, now I've got this imported mailing list. It shows me I've got 9 members in here, and they're all subscribed. So people are going to have the ability to unsubscribe. And when they unsubscribe, you'll be able to track how many have unsubscribed. And when people have unsubscribed, you can't resend them, because it's the law. It requires people to have the ability to unsubscribe. So you go to templates there, email templates. If you click email templates, it shows you that I don't have a mail template for this list. So I can add a new mail template. And a mail template is just going to be it's plain email. It's nothing fancy, all right? But so you're going to have a subject of the email. So let's say this is weekly newsletter. right? And then you're going to write this email in here. So you're going to say, hello there, whatever it is you would have written in your email. So you're going to type in here, this week we had amazing things, whatever. So you're going to write whatever it is you want to write in there. This is your whatever, your mail. And then you say regards, whatever your name is Trifina, this and that. Okay, so let's say regards Trifina, right? So, and then when you're updating your template, you can also see the people, the contacts that are in that list for the template, and then you can update template details. So now I've got a template. So I can then use this template. So if I say use this template, you see, I can choose to send a live email. Don't click this button until you are sure, because the moment you click this button, it's going to send the email out to everyone on your list, this template. So what you'd rather do is send a test email. So I'm going to choose to send a test email. It's important so that you can see what the email looks like. So I'm going to say send test email. It's going to say newsletter sent email to admin@skolo.online. All right, so I'm going to check my email now for that test email. But it takes a while to go through because it's doing that in the background. So basically, that's what the mailing list does. You can create a list, you can add members, you can create templates, and then once you create the template, you can send the emails out. That's pretty much done. So I'm going to give it 2 seconds. Then I'm going to go check my email. Weekly newsletter, there's that email that I just sent now. You see? It says hello there, whatever that I typed in there, regards Trifina. So whatever you type in there will be sent out to your mail, to your people in a mail, and we will make it look a little bit nicer like that, so it won't look like a plain boring email. But the context that you put in there will show in there. So basically that's how you do the emailing, group emailing from the platform. Now the sales CRM. Let's go to the hustle. The hustle is the one where you're going to be tracking sales, leads and everything. We call them hustle. So you're hustling for a client. Think about it as you're hustling for a client. A lot of CRM, they call it leads. So we call it a hustle. All right. So let's say you have a client. Let me make an example. Who are you trying to, which client are you trying to get now to hustle? Hello?
Yes, let them speak. Let anybody speak. Who are you hustling, guys? Anybody can mention anyone they are following up with and calling who's giving them the runaround.
So,
guys, you all have people you are following up with.
Attack.
So
yes, what's that?
Attack. I'm following Attack. And Investec Properties, yes.
Okay, so you will come here. The way you get here, if you're on the dashboard, you go to a sales app, you pass all the things, you go to hustle list, all right? So we're gonna call it a hustle. You come here, you're gonna create a new hustle that you're following up on. So you click create at the top there, create. So an opportunity or lead to, you have to give it a title, okay? We need to get attack. Like this.
Attack. It's what is it, guys? TTACQ, something like that.
Okay.
Or you can write Investec. CQ.
Like that, Investec.
Yeah, Investec, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we need to get Investec. I don't know, let's say it's a BOQ, whatever, business. Whatever it is, you need to give it a title that makes sense, that people will know when they read it what you're talking about. So you're trying to get Investec BOQ business. The source of the hustle, how did you get this hustle? Where did it come from? Was it a direct, it was a referral, event, you were at an event and you met that person?
You can write event, we met them at a conference.
Yeah, okay, so that's an event. Otherwise, if it's an RFP, or a whatever, you'll also put it like that, or they can find you through a website. So event, this is important because later when you track your leads, you'll be able to know where the majority of your leads are coming from, and then you'll be able to do analytics. That's why you are choosing now where did it come from. Okay, the name of the company is Investec in this case.
It's like you just read my mind.
Yeah.
I was thinking people are wondering why are we doing all this write-up. It's a matter of having that information to track it.
Yeah, later you'll be able to see, oh, okay, most of the leads that are coming from the the events, they convert more than the ones from the website, and then you can know to focus more on the website leads, things like that. It's for analytics. Then you're gonna put in the email address there, so let's say I'm just gonna put in a random email address, okay, but this would be the email address of the person that you are tracking, and their phone number. All right, and then the status, is it still a lead? Is it an opportunity, or are you actively pursuing it? Is it a follow-up? Is it dropped, lost, converted? So these are all the different parts of the funnel that your lead is going to go through. So a lead is just, you are just finding out about this thing, you are still tracking it. So it always starts as a lead or an opportunity. And then over time, you will move it to active, you're actively pursuing it, you're following up, or, these are like different levels. So let's start with it as a lead, okay, and then add a new hustle. So there it is. You got it from an event. This is the thing. So you click open there and you say view hustle. Then it takes you to the detailed page for the hustle. So over here, you'll see a lot of other things you can do with the hustle. So once you get to this detailed page, right, you can edit. So let me click edit at the top. So edit, you can put more information. What is the hustle about? So that someone else, let's say this hustle was being followed up by Lebo, for example. You must put more details here. This is about this, this way we found the event, so that in future, if Lebo leaves the company and another person is following up on this hustle, they can just come and look at these records and they can see what it is that this hustle was about. So put in as much information as possible there. Company website, company size, put in their Investec website there, company size, how big are they? They're a big business, the industry that they operate in, whatever, electronics, their address, this way you can put in their address, their country, they are from Angola or they are from South Africa, their province, so you can put in more information there, related contact. So if you've got a contact inside of the contact list who is connected to that hustle, you can put that related contact here. You can say, oh yeah, that contact, whatever, Salim Nasir is the one who is a contact related to this hustle. Priority, how important is this? Is it low, high, medium? Let's say it's a medium priority. The budget, are you going to spend money on this hustle? Meetings, whatever, you're going to put a budget for this. Let's say we're going to spend 1,000 Rand max. If you're going to do client meetings, whatever cost, you're going to track how much money you're spending on your hustles. You're going to start with a budget. And then you're going to say financial value. This is very, very important. Financial value is like, if you win this hustle, how much is it worth to your business? So let's say we win this, or okay, whatever, this client, maybe they'll give us a business worth $1 million. So you can see how much you're budgeting versus the value of that hustle. And then you're going to put in their social media so that later when you're tracking your sales funnel, you can track the amount of, of your leads that in terms of value. You can see in terms of value, how much are we following, and what's more important than another one based on how much money that, they whatever. Then you just click save there. Then all of that will be updated, right? You can see here the budget, amount already spent. When you spend money, you can come and update this amount already spent. It's not being done automatically. But in future, we will do it automatically where you'll be able to add expenses, and then this number will update automatically when you add expenses connected to a hustle. But that's not added yet. For now, you can do it manually. So if you go for a dinner, a lunch, and you spend on the client, and then you spend 500 Rands and you expense it, you can come and update, or you spend this much money on that hustle. If you spend money on printing things, for example, for a tender, how much money did you spend on that? You must keep track of how much money you're spending to acquire business. Then after that, you're going to go to meetings. So every time you have a meeting with this guy, you need to record that meeting. So this hustle is about, whatever it is you're following up. So the first time you have a meeting with them, you're going to come here and you're going to say, add a meeting. You're going to say, we had a client kickoff meeting. You record that meeting and you put in all the details of that meeting day. When was the date of the meeting? It was the 9th. The meeting started at 9. It was an hour-long meeting. And then you save that meeting. Then after you save that meeting, you'll see that meeting appears here under the meetings for the hustle. You can go view details of that meeting. You can add meeting attendees, right? Everyone who attended that meeting, right? Add attendee. Let's say I attended. it was a client who is not in your CRM, you can add their names manually. So you can say it was attack, whatever, attack surname, and this is their email address, whatever. Actually, let me put a real email address, because you can do invite. So you can add all the people that attended the meeting there. Action items, what was discussed in that meeting, right? Add the meeting actions. So in that meeting, we discussed that you need to follow up on X. You're gonna write there what was discussed. This was an action. This was a responsible person for it, or it was attack who was responsible, and when was that thing due? You understand? So now you start to add all the different things that are being discussed. These are the action points of that meeting. So you're gonna add all the things that were discussed in that meeting. When you finish, you can email the minutes of meeting, which means everyone who's attached here will get the minutes of meeting emailed to them, or you can view the minutes of meeting, print it out, do whatever you want. But this is the meeting, so you can go back. If you go back, it takes us back to the meeting list. This is not where we want to go. We want to go back to the hustle. How you get back to the hustle is you go to Sales App, you click hustle list, and then you'll see that hustle of yours, get invested BOQ. You go to the action there, you go to view hustle, and then this is the meeting. If you have another meeting, you do the same thing, you add another meeting. So all the meetings you've had are gonna be recorded here. This is useful. If now Lebu was responsible for this account, and then Lebu, for example, wants to hand over the account to another person because Lebu has been promoted to a different job, that person can just come here and look at the hustle, and they can see all the meetings that were ever discussed with this client. They can see all the details of that hustle, the budget, everything. They can see all the documents. So documents is the next one. If you have a document to save, you're going to save it in here. So a document can be anything. You can add a document. Let's say there was a pamphlet or something that you received, important document. Maybe it's a contract, whatever. You can choose whatever the file is. Let me look at my desktop. There's a PDF. You can attach that document in there. So you can attach as many documents as you like towards that hustle. What it does is that, if there's anything important related to this, so instead of saving things all over the show, like, you can still keep your Google Drives and all your other places where you save documents. But the nice thing about this is that you can keep the documents where they belong. So this document belongs to this hustle. So whenever anyone is tracking this hustle, they want to know if there's any document that is important, you've saved it here. So it's saved in the right place where it's being used, as opposed to just having one big directory where you're saving all your documents. And then the notes, this is important. If you have a note is like just something you want to record. Like, it's not a document, so for example, one of the things I save in here is like, social media links or whatever. You come here, you create a note. A note is just like a Word document. And then you type in there, let's say you want to create a note here. You come in there and you say, important links. I normally save these in here, and then you can type in here that, there was something important, so that someone will remember, and, and they can, if they want to, you want to record this for future, for references, you save it under the notes there, right? So that's basically CRM. And then over time, you can come here and you can see, the hustles that you're following. You got one industry hustle. You can see, over the months, how many hustles you've had. And over here, you'll also be able to see the conversion when they are converting. This will also plot the converted one. So when you convert a hustle to a project, it will show here that one has been converted. And then you can see the email subscription, 100% of your contacts are still subscribed. And then this is conversion percentage. It's important to know how many hustles are being converted into whatever. And the source, So you can see, okay, here, we had one customer referral, one event referral. As you create more and more hustles, you'll be able to see, more are coming from events or more are coming from customers. And this will plot over time and grow. So this is where the analytics will now be shown for the CRM. So this is so if you click on the CRM, you'll see these analytics, but also from the top there, you've got your buttons. So you've got your hustles there. It takes you back to the hustle list. You've got your settings. These are the settings there. You've got your contacts. These are all your contacts. The dashboard is where we were with the dashboard. The funnel is another important one. Now, every time you create a hustle, it's gonna be shown somewhere on the funnel. So on the funnel is like, it's like showing you, tracking how your hustles are moving. So when you start as an opportunity, this is where the hustles start usually. It will either be a lead or an opportunity. Over time, when you move that hustle to active pursuit, it's gonna go there, so you can see where you are on the funnel. When you're following up, it goes there. When you've processed the hustle, whether it is now you have won that hustle, is now a project, or you dropped it or whatever. Sometimes you drop the things, you don't always convert them. Some of them you lose them, like it's a proposal, maybe you didn't win it, it ends up there. So you can see all the things as you're going through, where they are and where the majority of your things are. So over time, as you use the CRM, there will always be a hustle here, one day. So you know which ones are you following up on. If you come to this funnel, you will see, oh, these are the ones we are really following up on, or these are the ones that have been dropped. These are the new ones, and you can see also who's responsible. You know, this is assigned to Bertha. This is assigned to Sinikiwe, for example. You know, as you build more, you know, you'll see what's happening with the hustle day. Does that make sense?
Everyone is so quiet.
Yes, makes sense. Thank you.
All right. So it's 9 o'clock. I don't know if I should spend the last 10 minutes quickly showing you the project side.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we'll get more and more the hang of this as we use it.
Yes.
But it's good to actually know where to put what.
Exactly. So I will also make this video available on YouTube. Like I said, I'm recording it. It's now 46 minutes long. It will be less than an hour, and I'll make it on YouTube, so you can go and watch it again and remind yourself, because you know when I catch everything the first time. But when you watch it again, you will see, you remember what I said. So the project app, you can get it from the top there, projects, or you can go the same way under project. So if you click project, you'll see you got the same thing, project dashboard, calendar, client list, project list, This client list is a different list from your sales contact list. Okay, the contact list is specific to sales. It's just all your contacts for mailing purposes or whatever. Your client list is actually clients you've got in the business. Okay, all your clients. So let's start there maybe. So if you click on the client list, like you'll see here, these are our clients. We've got Triumphant Zoe here also, and other clients, and I need to update this because there's definitely more I need to add here. And you can add a new client here, so you can create there, and you say, okay, this is the name of the company, Eskom, whatever, the email address, the phone number, the company size, the company industry. Add a new client there, and then once you've added a new client, as usual, you've got the action button there. So I'll go for Triumphant Zoe, and I will say view details. Okay, view details. It takes you to this detailed page for the client. You see their client value, the projects you have for that client, the contacts for that client, the invoices for that client, and all their information is saved there. So you can also edit here. When you get here and maybe this is not right, you can edit the client information so that you have all of the stuff right, because you need to know all the people that you're doing business with. And then under the client, you can see all the client projects. Okay, so under the client project, you can see that maybe, okay, Triumphant Zoe property, you can create a project for that client. So let's say you've got that client that you're doing the BOQ for. You can create them as a client, and then now you've got their project. So here there'll be nothing the first time you come here. So you can add a new project there for that client. And if you add a new project, it takes you to the project list. This is all the project lists. And from here, you can create a project there. So let's say you want to add a new project there. So you can add a project and say, this project is, I don't know, basic engineering.
You can add there, right there, Rehoboth project. Rehoboth project, residential project.
Residential project. All right. And then add the client that it's attached to. So by then you would have already created a client, because you must start by creating the client first. So let's say they are there, you add their client. This is a project for that client. When did the project start? It started, I don't know, on the 1st. When is it going to end? This is just estimates. Let's say it's going to go until April, the end of April. And then you're going to put here the project description. What is the description of that project? This is a very important project. Type as many details as possible. Go to the bottom, Scope of work. You'll see sometimes when you're trying to scroll here, it doesn't scroll very well. I need to reduce this size and I'll do that later. But you can scroll on, you can put the mouse on the side and scroll like that, or you can use this scroll bar. Because this is actually, this scrolls inside of this document if you try to scroll from here. So you can scroll from there with that. What is happening? Yeah, you can scroll from here. And then you're gonna go to the deliverables of the project. What's happening now? So type in the deliverables, whatever the deliverables, these are all the things you must do. You need to do a BOQ, you need to do a wada. And this is also like rich text, so you can like highlight things. You can like, you know, where am I now? I shouldn't have used this. You can like highlight things, you can use points, you can use headings and subheadings, you know, so you can write this like a Word document. And then when you finish, you can save project details. Then now you've got that new project, the Rehoboth what residential project. You can click on it and then it takes you to the project details here. So on the project details, you've got the project milestones. So this is very, very important. Before you can even do tasks, you need milestones. So let's say any project has got a milestone, a major deliverable that you need to achieve. So your first milestone might be complete BOQ by the end of the month. That's a milestone. So you're going to create a milestone there and say, the title of the milestone is to complete BOQ by, I don't know, by end of the month, whatever. And then you're going to put in the due date is obviously end of the month. And then you're going to put in the details of that milestone there, whatever it is. You're going to put in those details there, and then when you finish, you save that project milestone. When you save it, you'll see now you've got that milestone shown there, and then you create another milestone. So this one will be like a timeline. It will be built like a timeline. So all the milestones for the project, you must create them here so that you can, so you might think of this as a project schedule, okay? But we don't want to complicate things and have like a huge complicated Gantt charts. You know, we want it to be like something that a normal person understands that you can use. Everyone understands milestones. So you can create milestones and it will do them like a timeline. You know you have to do this first and the next one and the next one. So create your milestones here. After you've done the BOQ, what's the next thing you're going to have to do? Put that milestone there. The next one is prepare for the gate review, whatever it is. The next one is prepare for the whatever. So you put all your project milestones here so that you know what are all the things you must achieve by such a certain date. And when you finish the milestone, at the top there, you have these 3 buttons. You can mark this milestone as complete. You can edit if you want. Let's say you don't like that. You can edit and make changes to it. And you'll be like, you know, yeah, that was not very good. I don't like those things, right? You can edit that milestone. And let's say you want to use numbers instead. You don't want to use the points. Whatever it is, you can edit it and save that milestone. And you'll see it's now different. You've edited it. And when you are done with it, you can also delete it. If let's say you made a mistake and this is a wrong milestone, you can delete it. And then complete means you have finished it. So when you are finished that milestone, you can click complete, and it will show that this is completed. It was completed on 17th of November, and it will record when you completed the milestone. So you can do the other milestone, right? Add another milestone. Project board, there's nothing here. This is where you're going to do project tasks. This is the same thing as the tasks you currently assign, but these are specific project tasks so that you know that this task is associated to the project. So you can add a project task there. When you add a project task, you have to choose a milestone for the task because the task has to be associated with the milestone. It's not just a random task. You have to choose the responsible person. You have to use the title of the task, you know, social media, whatever. You have to put in the details of the task. You have to put in the due date of the task, like that. Add a new task. It's done. So then you got a task board. So you can create more and more tasks, but these tasks are associated with a project. And project meetings, the same thing. You can add a meeting. This works like the way I showed you the sales meetings. You can, every time you have a project meeting, you record it here. Record the project meeting, minutes of meeting, all of that stuff. Project documents. Again, instead of saving all your documents in one big folder, you save documents here, only documents associated with this task. And this will just upload the document here for you so that your other people, you can collaborate on documents. So other people can see the documents that you're working on. If you're busy working on the BOQ, you can upload it here. If you're busy working on, I don't know, whatever the report is, you can upload it here. There's no functionality to edit the documents live, but you would have to download it, edit it, and re-upload it, whatever. But at least you can record. It's like a repository of documents. Think about it like a Dropbox, okay? So you can like save all your project documents in one place. So we know we save the documents where they are being used, as opposed to saving the documents in one big folder for your whole company. So all the project documents, you'll save them here. All your sales documents, you'll save them under sales. If it's an OKR document, objectives document, you'll save it under objectives. And then again, notes, if you've got notes, you're going to record your notes here. And then you go back to project list, and you'll see all your projects here that you're busy with, you know. And if you want to work on another one, let's say you want to work on this project, this is a project we've been working on for a while, you'll see it's got a couple of milestones. It's got a project board there. We haven't had any meetings there. But we have some project documents. You see, like every time I create like a contact list, I save it in here. Excel documents, we've saved some documents there. We have some project notes. Actually, we use notes more than anything on this project because, for example, we are tracking Facebook groups that we want to follow. Then we have it in a note. So we've put it in here. These are all the Facebook groups that we are following. And then we put it in a note so that we can remember these are all there. So you know which groups you are following. So the notes are useful for that purpose. And we use the documents, the meetings, not so much because this is an internal project. We use this one for the tasks, social media automation. This is actually done. I must move this to completed because it's been done. We actually finished that. Sales navigator, this one is in progress because we're busy with this. So this is actually a live project. I'm showing you stuff from my company. We're actually using this quite regularly, also checking it out, making sure that everything works well. So this is what the project stuff looks like. If you go back to the project app there and you go back to the client list, you will see now under the client, was it this one? We've got now 2 projects for this client. If you go to the projects, the new projects that we just added, the Rehoboth residential is for that client. So you can have one client, multiple projects. And then that client project will be shown here, you know, and contacts and everything. So these client contacts, actually, let me show you on another project here. Let's go to client list, and I think I did it for this one. Was it Dirty Software? Yeah. You see over here, on this client list, I've got a client contact. So a client contact is like a member inside of the client organization who's your contact. You can add them here. It's not the same contact as the sales contacts. So for example, if you're working on the Rehoboth project, you might have someone in that organization who's your contact. You want to share documents with them. So maybe that person wants to receive regular minutes of meeting. They want to receive regular client documents. They want to know what's going on. That will become a client contact. So you will add them here as a client contact. You put in their details, their name, their surname, email address, everything. And once you've done that, let me just add a new client here. So let me say I add Trifina. Trifina. Kokong is a client contact. I put in their phone number there. Obviously, I'll put in the real phone number. And then I'll put in your address there, triumphantzoe.com. And the job title here, you are the founder, the CEO, and whatever. I can leave those ones, okay? So I'm going to save that. So now I've got the client list. I wanted to show you something. You can invite your client to Skhokho so that they can see the project documents on their side if you want. You don't have to, it's optional. So you'll see here I was testing this functionality. So let's say you've got a client and you don't want to email them documents all the time. You don't want to always be sending them a Dropbox link, those kind of things. You can invite that client. They'll receive an email with an invite. Then they will go log in and create an account. And then when they log in, they can only see the project documents and the minutes of meeting and invoices. Because you can also invoice the clients here. When you've got invoices, you invoice the client there. So the client will be able to log in and see all the invoices, pay them. They'll be able to log in, see all the documents. They'll be able to log in and see all the, it's documents, invoices, and milestones, I think. Yeah. Documents, invoices, and milestones, and minutes of meeting. Yes. Meetings as well. So that every time you're having project meetings, they'll be able to, like, see all the records. And that I think is useful, so that you don't email documents back and forth with a client. All right. So I think that's going to be it. I'm going to end it here because I think that's quite a mouthful, and let you guys play with it. Like I said, I'm going to save this on this YouTube page. Okay, so just go to YouTube and search for Skhokho Business. You'll find this video that I'll save it there, and you can watch it in future. And remember the documentation page, guys. Everything I'm explaining is here on the documentation page. There's another way to access the documentation page. If you go to the home page of Skhokho here, this home page, and you go to navigation there, and then you go to the documentation, you see all of this. There's documentation explaining everything I'm showing you. So if you go to project management app, for example, click on it, it will take you to the documentation for the project app. So you can see all these things. Oh, this is how the dashboard, this is the project calendar. You can navigate on the left here. You can see project meetings, how to add a new meeting, project documents, how to add project documents, notes, how to do project notes. It's all there. And at the top, you can navigate there from projects to sales and CRM. CRM is also sales, and CRM is like the same thing. I name them interchangeably. You can see the sales app. All right, contact list, how to add a new contact, how to create a hustle, how to do the meetings, sales meetings, how to do the marketing groups, how to do the settings. Everything I'm explaining is here in the documentation. And also, if you were on the website itself, let's say you were on any part, let's say you went to sales and you went to sales, I don't know, sales funnel, for example. Okay, it's not there on the sales funnel. Let's say you went to sales hustle list. There is always that pink button that says documentation. Most of the pages, they have it. So you just click on this button, and then it shows you the documentation for the place where you are right now. It shows you that documentation, and then you can read it. You can see how to do things there, and there's pictures and everything. All right. So I think that should be sufficient for now, right? Trifina, you guys are good?
Sorry, I'm on mute. Yeah, no, thank you so much. Yo, that was a mouthful, eh? Jeez, you can talk a whole hour non-stop, and I thought I can talk.
So yeah, so okay guys, so you will be able to just I'll make this video available. I'm doing another training on Friday also with another company, and I will also do a video, so that maybe in that video there'll be different things. But if you just check our YouTube channel, I will upload all the videos there. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe let's hear any questions from the team, guys, as you've been, playing around with the Skhokho. Any feedback from your side?
I actually have a question on that project app.
Yes.
When you were talking about having one project and other sub-project under it, are you going to be able to see who's the last person that edited that particular project?
So in the project app here, I just wanted to make sure I'm on the right place. In the project list here, all right, you can see the project manager. So when you create a project, you become the project manager.
You're not sharing a screen.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Let me go back to share my screen. I had stopped it. I thought we were done. Okay. So if you go to the project list, so let me just start at the dashboard so I can show you how I got there. You go to project app and you go to project list. So if you look at the project list here, you will see the project manager is the person who created the project. They are listed there, that they are the project manager. But anyone who has access, so the way that the access is being managed, Trifina, is managed on your side as the owner of the space. So Trifina has got this thing inside of company settings. And inside of company setting, you can see all your members like this. I guess you've got a page like that where you invite them. And when you've got your members like that, you can edit access of the members. And when you edit access, you can decide who has access to what app. So you can access CRM. So not everyone will have access to everything. It will depend on Trifina. So if she says, okay, I want to give you CRM access and I want to give you project access, you will have the project access. But she can decide not to give you. Let's say you're only working on sales, you don't work on projects. She doesn't give you project access. If you only work on projects, you don't work on sales, she doesn't give you sales access. It's up to the boss to decide that. But once they have given you project access, then you can see project and you can see the project list there. You have full access. So even if you edit, like I created a project, you can edit and add things to my project. There's no limit as to who can make what changes because you already have been given a
No,
project
but what I'm
access.
asking is,
But I've
what I'm
given
asking
them
is-
project access. They do have that.
what
So
I'm asking is, on that project, if I go and let's say I do have access to that project,
Yes.
and somebody else come and add some stuff on that particular project, are you going to be able to say, you know how Excel will tell you last edited by so and so? So does this also give you that information?
no, it can if you want it,
Okay.
but currently it doesn't. Because we are
Okay.
assuming that by the time you are given access, everyone has the full responsibility for that for the thing, you know. This has been raised many times whether or not we should not limit the access. Only the project manager can make changes, but that creates another problem. Yoguti, if you're not available, no one can do anything on the project, and if you leave the company, then everything gets stuck. So we thought about this for a long time and we discussed it with many people, and we ended up agreeing that, you know what, if they give you project access, they must trust that you know what you're doing, and that you're not going to change other people's projects without their permission, and that you're not going to go delete other people's things. And if they don't trust you, then they mustn't give you access. Sort of, that's how we're going to manage it. Then hopefully
Okay.
you will, so you won't know who did what. You won't be able to stop anyone who has access. The only way is to make sure you give access to the right people. And you guys discuss between yourselves, don't mess up with my project or whatever. Otherwise, if we limit it too much, when people are not available, people can't make changes. When people leave, then you have to call me again. We can't make changes here because the person who created the project is no longer here or whatever, you know. Yeah, but we've noted that, and if it becomes because you're not the first person to ask it, if it becomes a major challenge, maybe we'll change it in the future. But for now, we've just made it open access.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are so many things to change that it will be hard to track them all. You know, like on a project, for example, you can change so many things. You can add a document, you can add a meeting, you can add a note, you can add, you know. So how are we gonna track who changed what? It will be just another app in itself, just tracking who did what.
Okay.
All right. Any other question?
Yeah, hi. I have a question.
Yes.
Just to affirm, you said that if we have an Excel file, we can convert it to CSV, right?
Yes.
And then we can upload a CSV.
Yes.
Okay, I want to know what is the minimum requirement of columns or information to upload a CSV file?
Okay. The minimum requirements: name, surname, and email. Minimum.
Okay. And then if it cannot detect the other information that I've seen is included there on the app, would it update?
So let me go back to the sales contact list. This contact list, if you want to edit a contact, so these are all the fields we've got in our contacts: name,
Okay.
surname, phone number, email address, job title, and then the social media URLs. If you've got more fields than this, it won't upload them because we don't have them in our CRM.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can call them anything you want. So in a column, you'll have the column at the top. Can I open Excel here? Okay, it will take time. You can call anything you want. You can have contact name, you can have first name, whatever you want. When you do the import, you'll be able to map which field is which. Remember when I showed you the mapping? You'll be able to map. So when you do the upload, it will read the file and it will show you what's available in the file and map it for you. But make sure that when you create the Excel, where's an Excel document? Maybe I must just open an Excel document here because it will be easier that way to just show you from a file. So this is like an Excel sheet that I'm trying to open here. I'm just gonna say a new document, a blank new document. So when you do the Excel, make sure there's no spaces. The very first column must be the title, whatever you want to call it. So let's say this is a name, this is a surname, and then this is an email, whatever, phone, job description, whatever. Make sure there's no space at the top. So don't leave a space and then have a title, because then it won't read it properly. Yeah, this must be the first row. The first row of your file must be the title, and then you can have the name, whatever it is. This is Bertha, whatever, Trifina. Then it's fine. This will be their names and whatever, and then no spaces there, no spaces there also. So this must also be the first column. This must be the first row. And then when you save it, when you save as, okay, this is a Mac, so I'm exporting. You can export it as a CSV. But in Excel, I know it has an option. When you save as a CSV file. The same way you can save as a PDF. You do that, it will save it as a CSV file. You can even choose the delimiter that you want. But it doesn't matter. I've written my code to be versatile, irrespective of the delimiter it uses in the CSV. And then you can upload that CSV. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
All right. If there's no other questions, I will stop sharing this one, and I will end the meeting. Actually, I will stop the recording as well.